Well, the rest of the list we've got in the schedule quantities. The second one is about graphical column schedule, which is not that useful. Based on the structural plans, we cannot say it's relevant that much. Let's go for material takeoff, or MTO. It's called MTO too. Well, I open it. Well, in this part, the priority is the material, right? It means that, for example, you say, you select wall, and then, for example, material area, material name, material volume, right? Obviously, material does not have a length. I move them, put them in the right order. Let me click OK. So, we will organize the schedule later on. Well, such a nice schedule. Now, these are the materials used in the walls of this project. Let's edit them. Let's group them based on name, blank line, footer. I want the totals, not itemize. And of course, total of area and volume too. Now, let's see it. Well, we see that because all of them, it's written as single, neither the blank line is actually useful nor the footer. So we find out that here we don't need blank line and footer that much. So would you agree that this is a better schedule? So we don't put it everywhere, we just have it when we need it. Now, this schedule is telling us that these materials are used in our walls and this is the total. Now, let's develop our schedule. Sometimes you need, actually just this schedule is enough. But now I need another, so I duplicate it. I rename it to Material Takeoff based on, for example, family of the walls. What does it mean? Now, I want to know that insulation has been used in what type of the walls, right? And then I want to make it wider, but I've got nothing to do with it. For now, this is the schedule. Each of the materials, we can see the price of it. Now, in this one, I wanted it to show me the family and type too. Now, what happens? I see that some of them are not shown. Well, you need to know it. But that you need to group based on the family and type too. For example, the material, it means that the material should be grouped based on the types too. So here we don't have empty spaces anymore. Now we want that blank line and footer, right? Now we need it. Now let's see how good it became. Now it tells us that these materials are used in these walls, these materials in these walls, right? This is a very useful schedule now. Well, another schedule, duplicated. Now I rename it to based on materials names. Now, can you see what I want to do? I want to know what materials have been used in each wall, right? In each wall, okay? Now, what is it saying? It's saying that the materials in which walls actually the materials have been used. Now I want to know what materials have been used in each wall. Now here it says exterior wall. Now Can you say what actually materials have been used in exterior wall? No, we cannot do that because any of them are in a place. We cannot see them. Now I want to see them all together at once. What should I do? That's right. Again, change their place. Replace these two. You see? Here it says, for example, in this exterior wall, we have these materials. And of course, we can again change the name of these, change the place of these two, because it's repeated. The ones that I repeated can be first. Now it says in this wall, we have this material with these properties. They're really precious, these schedules, right? But you need to know how to work with them. Now we have so many kinds of our wall. 2 kinds from the wall. Now we have the many types of material takeoff too. Any of them we want, we can open it, we can read the information. I will also teach you how to make output, right? And how to estimate and actually hand it to the person who works with estimating and surveying. Usually in Revit we don't import the prices, right? We can, but we don't, because we don't need actually this kind of price. There are many things else that you do. You need to be a professional in it, and we don't do that, right? We just give them the quantity, and that would be really good enough actually. So let's move forward. This is material takeoff. You can, in material takeoff schedule, you can know the area of the wall too, and volume and width, of course. And one more thing, when it's showing these, well, why would I have a basic wall schedule? This is doing everything, it's showing us everything. It's giving me actually showing me the volume of the wall and the material. But there is a weakness here, which is really weird to me, and that's we need to have the total area and volume too. But when we go to formatting, we can have the material area and material volume, the total of them, but we cannot have the total area and volume. So weird, right? In material takeoff, you are not allowed to see the total area and volume. If you want to have them, you need to go to the same and the previous schedule, right? But if we were allowed to have the total number of these two, that would be enough for everything, this schedule. But we don't have access to the total number of volume and width here, right? So the next thing we want to talk about is paint. Well, in our project, let me show this to you in a smaller project. For example, we have this project and we make a material takeoff from the walls. So we want a family and type. This is very nice too. Name and volume. Now there is an option here. There's an item which is called as paint. What does it say? Well, let me put them in order. Let me group them. Based on family and type, they material name, no itemizing. I want the totals. Well, now it says in this project there are 2 materials that have been used, brick common and default wall. Now none of these 2 have been used as paint. What does it mean? Well, In this wall, based on the explanation in Veranda, right? If you haven't seen it, you might not be familiar with this, so you might want to go and see everything about render and then watch it. It's not very important, but it's interesting. In Revit, we can use an option called split face in order to split an object to have a material in every side, right? Like this. Or a trick I sometimes use is that, for example, down here I split it. It's a trick, it's not a solution, right? And then I use paint and change the material of this part. See? Or here. Or this place. Now, what I just did is called painting, right? Painting is somehow like a sticker, right? It's not a part of the main materials, right? This part has a material, but we stick something on it, right? The thing which is stuck on it is called painting, right? This is as paint. I mean, it doesn't belong to the object. It's a paint, right? Now, if I open it up here, it says, now there is no more the word no here, right? Because it has been used both as paint and the main material. So I need to make it as paint, based on as paint. Now, here it says, this material, this amount is, for example, original main, and this much is as paint. It's even possible that, for example, you're in an object like this. You split face and use a new material. For example, cherry. See? Now, what does it tell us in the schedule? It says cherry has been used just as paint. I mean, it's just a paint, not original. So when you use a material as paint, right, just like I said, it works as a sticker. Therefore, we don't see the volume, right? We just see the area because it's a sticker, it's a paint, right? Now, as paint is a trick, basically just a trick. I mean, it's illegal to use it because you have to edit that object, create a new type with new material, right? But if you use as paint, here it shows it to you, and it announces to you that this material is fake and it has been used as paint. So this is everything about Material Takeoff. Let's go for the rest of the list. The next one is sheet list. Note block, we've got nothing to do with it. And then view list. Let me say view list first. When you open it, you see the list of the views in a project. For example, you can have detailed level, right? You can see if it's course view, fine. You can have family and type, which says if it's 3D plan or anything. You can have the scale value, sheet name, right? The number of even the sheet, title on sheet, the name of this viewing sheet, the name of the view itself, and we don't use view template, of course. It's not bad to have discipline too, either, of course, because while you're using architecture, it's not that useful. But in, for example, MEP, it shows if the discipline is plumbing or electrical or anything. Now, let me put this discipline at first because it's too general. Family and type makes it a bit, puts it in more details. Then view name, title on sheet. Well, detail, scale, sheet name, and sheet number. Let's check it out together. Well, Now, check this out. For example, some of the views are structural. Some of the views have been worked as a structural. Some of them are coordination. Now, how do I group them? Well, obviously, it seems to say at first discipline to have the structural and architectural. Then we have family and type, plans, 3Ds together. Let me click OK for now. You see 3D views together, ceilings together, elevations and floor plans. And of course, building section and until the end. Here we have the structurals, the different disciplines. As usual, click blank, but not between disciplines, because don't just get used to having the first one, clicking the blank line of the first one. Now you want to have a blank line between the plans and the sections, so I'll click here, and I don't need footer. So you see, now we know that 3D and the ceilings and everything are different. Now, what is it used for? When you say that, for example, there's nothing, no number or name in front of this, what conclusion do you make? Now, it hasn't been sloped, right? Now, this is the biggest advantage for this schedule, that you understand which of the views have been left up, has been left up. Now, in AutoCAD, we have done everything, but for example, we've missed something. You know? For example, it hasn't been placed in the sheet or anything, right? Now, we can find this out. Now, it has been a mistake, or I don't know, it can have been actually on purpose. Now, the second advantage is that, has it been the right sheet? Now, have they been supposed to go to this sheet? Now, the next thing is detail level. The detail levels of the views are correct or not. For example, these are that have been placed in the sheets. Why are they medium? Well, weren't all the views supposed to be fine? So these two are wrong. Maybe it's cause, right? Maybe it has been on course and all the metal elements have become sheets as lines. And the best one is that we can change it right here. You learned it. You can change it right here. Now these, of course, they haven't been sloped, but you can check it easily here. For example, this is medium. You can change it to fine. Now, if we didn't have this, what should we have done? Well, we had to open this list one by one, double click, check, open it, check, open it, check. But don't say that. This is, for example, this is a project, this is a heavy project. It takes time to open it. It doesn't immediately open it for you. You see, let's just imagine you want to open 100 views. But now see this schedule. You can easily check everything. Has it gone in sheet? Is the detail level correct? Is the name well or correct or anything? Is the scale correct? So this schedule has two uses. The first one is checking the views. The second one is having and creating the list of the plans, right? Every project you must create a list of plans. That, for example, it includes these plans. Now, this is the best place to do it. You can look at it, right? You have the name, elevations, I don't include these. The plans include these. The section include these. These are the main parts of Revit, really. If you know these, you are actually capable of doing anything. So let's move forward. Sheet list. We check the view. Now let's go for sheet. Approved by, things we've got in our sheet. Checked by, designed, drawn, sheet name and sheet number. The rest are not that useful. So I'll put them the right order. You see? The number of the sheet is given, the name is given to you. And of course, if you have written that it's drawn by what is drawn by, you can also change it, right? Right here, you don't need to open your sheets from here, right? These are the sheets. It takes time. You can open it here. Now, these are the texts are a bit messed up because of the phone, right? So you can easily have your sheet list right here, prepare them. Now I want to tell you a very, very professional point. Again, because it takes time, I'm going to just tell you in a big project, because it takes time to open it. Now, if I'm about to, for example, prepare the sheets of a project, you know how to do that. First, you need to right click your sheet and then click new. You want a new sheet and you open one. New sheet, another one. But in MEP projects, you have more than 300 sheets. For example, even this Tisakish project, the MEP had more than 300 sheets, right? Now, let's just imagine that you're working and you want to right click this sheet about 300 times. New sheet, new sheet. Well, it's not possible, so I want to tell you a trick that you can, for example, create 3 blank sheets or empty sheets, right? 300. Now, in big projects, remember that in heavy project, it takes time to open each of them. Now, what's the trick? In order to be able to add the sheets at once, the trick is to have a quantity of sheets first, sheet list. You just add one sheet name and drawn by. Now, this is an empty sheet list. I've got nothing, but it's okay. But I just want to start. I want to have 50, for example, empty sheets. Let me tell you again what the question is. Right click, new sheet. Right click, new sheet. Okay. You see, I have to do this for every sheet. Now I want to make it fast, do all of them together at once. How should I do that? Well, you go to that sheet list, right? The quantity. Here's an option called insert data row. See? One click, it's added. Tuck, 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 just like that. It's added very easily. Any number you want, but it's not added to this list. Well, after we do this, we need to do something else. We need to click new sheet. And what we select here, you need to, the one at the bottom, you need to select all of them and click OK, right? Instead of that. You see how nice that is? When you have to deal with big projects, large projects, you need to be creative, right? For example, when a project for me had about 700 sheets, I told myself that would be difficult. So I kept, finding a new way, and I found this out. Right, let me delete them again. Tell you again. Now, a sheet list from, you need to have a sheet list without anything. It's okay. Now you can see insert data row. You just keep clicking, right? Definitely clicking here 700 times is easier than doing that 700 times. You see how many we've got? Then you click new sheet. The ones you clicked are saved here. The good thing is that up here, you say what kind of sheet you want to create and then select all of these and select. All of them show up and are added to this list. Now, they're prepared for you to drag your views in. I just wanted to tell you this so that if you have large projects, it would be easier.